shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Oh. That's right. Testing. Test Ickles. Welcome everyone to episode 798 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, taintcast, and jackcast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, Swolenormous fam? Welcome to 798 live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and anything else, probably some kind of alien platform I'm not even aware of. Oh, and the NSA and CIA. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Hello. Too soon. Welcome on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get your audio gains. Let's come on in through the door, drop some biceps, drop some gorillas, send a couple grunts my way. Come on. I know you want to. Well, happy Flex Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. Happy whatever else you want to call it. Is it still considered bad luck? Or do people still freak out about that bullshit? Did American Horror Story make some kind of like Friday the 13th thing and now everyone's still afraid of that? It's just not true. Today is a beautiful day. Today's a beautiful day, whether it's raining or whether it's sunny and gorgeous like it is here in Florida. But it's another day to get shit done. Today's episode is titled Aim to Achieve. We're going to talk about some goal setting and really help shift the mindset, because yesterday we talked about nutrition and we've talked about training the last couple days, did a bunch of great interviews, had some live calls, but it comes back. It comes back to what we're going to discuss today. And none of it really matters. None of it really matters unless you have what we're going to talk about today in order. So let's say hi to some of these peeps. Let's get those sick fucking gains. What up, Laker fan? What up? LeBron in the house, huh? Ray Chills getting fit. Just came home from the gym. Good for you, man. I am going to get mine after this. What's going on, Dean, on YouTube? What up, Swole King? What's up, Periscope? Dennis, Jeffrey, what up? What up, Pops? What's going on, fam? What's going on, everyone? Everyone's coming through the door. So make sure you share, hit the like button, tell everyone that Papa Swolio is ready to drop some knowledge nuts across your chin. I've been lit all morning. I've been on fire. I had a bunch of brand new member calls for Swolenormous X. So I had about 4 or 5 of those this morning, and I had coffee. I had my broth. I did a couple of videos, posted on Instagram. I posted on Twitter. I posted on Facebook. I recorded another video. I'm going to do some stuff. I feel very inspired to record some more content. It's all about more, right? It's all about more, better, consistent, just doing it every day. So if you take anything from my content, if you take anything from what I do, just take the consistency aspect of it. It's just doing it every day, just doing everything every day, and doing more than what, if you have anyone in your circle that thinks you're doing too much, anyone, you ready for this? Anyone that thinks you're doing too much, anyone that thinks you're working too hard, anyone thinks that you should slow down, that means you're making someone feel uncomfortable, and you should do the opposite, and you need to turn it up. That is a classic example of people being uncomfortable with your level of output, with your obsession. And it comes down to whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your training, whether it's your work ethic. If you're happy with it, if you're happy with what you're doing, if you're happy with your direction, if you are on point, like if you're okay with yourself and you know what you want, you know what you want to achieve, there's nothing that anyone can say. There's nothing that anyone can say that can override your actions. There's nothing that anyone can say, right? Sticks and stones, words can never hurt me. You really have to go back to that shit, right? They're just words. People's own insecurities and their own lack of effort and their own, I guess, being unsure of what they want, or their own discontent with their own life or their own journey, or not knowing what they want to do, blah, blah, blah. That can make people feel uncomfortable. So I get a lot of messages. About, getting shit for eating healthy food. Have you had that? If you're watching live, drop some comments. Have you had people give you shit for bringing your own meals places? That's a big thing with nutrition. And that's a great segue into this episode, because yesterday we talked about The elimination, we talked about getting rid of or why foods will cause inflammation. The social aspect of nutrition is huge. It's huge for people. And it really comes down to you giving a fuck about what other people think. If you give a fuck about what other people think, that's going to have an impact. You're giving tangible, right? You're giving taste. You're giving flavor. You're giving shape to what other people say. You're giving shape. You're giving like an actual existence. You're giving physical presence to what other people just say. They're fucking words. Whether it's racial comments, whether it's political comments, whether it's just they're trying to insult you, they're trying to intimidate, they're just fucking words. They're really just words. It's how you perceive those words. It's how you internalize those words. It's how you internalize that shit. That's what it is. It's how you digest it and it's how you manifest it, because otherwise they're just words. You change the channel, right? You don't like what I'm saying right now? You can swipe left, swipe right, or whatever you're watching or wherever you're watching. You can go watch something else. Like, you don't have to expose yourself to that. And that happens a lot with people in your circle. And sometimes that exposes itself when you change your habits, right? If you just start being healthy and then you still hang out with your drinking buddies, they're going to give you shit for it because they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable, they're intimidated, and they're defensive. They're protective over what they do. They want to be justified. They want to, I guess they want justification. They want an excuse to the debauchery. They want the excuse for feeling that what they're doing is okay and acceptable. They're not okay with it themselves, so they're looking for that kind of reassurance from others, from you, from that circle. And that's poisonous. That's negative. That's a negative environment. That's a negative circle. And you need to make your circle smaller. I have a very small circle. I have a very small circle of people in my little circle, I guess. A small square, maybe a small octagon. I have a small triangle. Well, that doesn't sound good, does it? That's what she said. So you need to keep your circle small. You need to keep your circle small. Don't let people bring you down to their level. And you need to have your North Star. You need to know what direction you're trying to achieve and where you're going. And a lot of people get intimidated by hard work. They get intimidated, especially when it's in their environment. And it makes sense. Like if you're doing this around people you grew up with, it's like, well, you're doing it, they're not. And then they feel defensive because they're not doing what you're doing. And you all came from the same place. So they deep down know it's possible for them, but they just can't muster what you've mustered. And it's crazy. Let's take some comments before we kind of get into this more. Angie95 on Periscope. Yeah, people act weird eating plant-based. People act weird around everything. I don't personally eat plant-based. I don't recommend it, to go completely plant-based, but some people love it. Okay, so who am I to say? I don't hate anyone for it. Some people hate people for it. They really get angry. They lash out. Why can't we just let people do what the fuck they want? Why can't we just let people do what they want? Get over it. People are different. It's fine. Kiersey, definitely. Folks don't understand working out after working all day. That's right. That's right. Derek Clark, my mother always tells me not to eat too much fat. I've been eating the ketogenic. Yeah, the exact opposite. Does she give you shit for it? Does she give you a hard time when you come over and you're like a bucket of lard? She's like, oh my God, you're eating so much fat. You're going to get fat. Eric Dean on Facebook, I'm either not doing enough or don't have friends like that, or I just don't pay attention to them. You have to kind of put yourself ahead of yourself, right? You have to chase yourself. You're your own competition. You can't really base your life and your journey on anyone else, but you're going to get shit on. You're going to have people that don't agree. But if you close off your circle and you surround yourself with people that are more positive, that have your similar mindset, you're not going to have that issue. And that's why it's so important. Yeah. Always get shit for eating sweet potatoes like a candy bar. I fucking love it. I just did. You follow me on Instagram. I just ate a sweet potato. I just taught everyone on Instagram, on my Instagram story, how to eat a sweet potato. So if you don't know how to eat a sweet potato, at least eat a sweet potato the Swolenormous way, the Papa Swolio way, you need to go on my Instagram story and check that out. Because I just laid it all down there for you. I just gave you the deets. I gave you the dirty, the skeet. I gave it to you on Instagram stories. Jack on Instagram, my friends always give me shit for eating well and working out because they say I'm not getting results. Yo, they're not your friends, bro. Your friends always give you shit for eating healthy and for working out. I have some news for you, bro. they're not your friends. Those are people that you know. Those are people that know you, and you don't know them anymore. Fucking hit the eject button like James Bond. Launch them into the stratosphere. They sound like pieces of shit. Something tells me that they're pieces of shit. Just they sound like pieces of shit. They sound like it. Yeah, those are not friends, bro. Bro Jackson, those are not your friends. So today's episode, I'll take a lot of questions today. It's Flex Friday, Friday the 13th, Friday the Swoleteenth. You know, today's the day to get yoked. I'm going to be dropping a lot of some cool shit today. I just have a mindset shift stuff today, because a lot of you are going to be taking yesterday's episode into you're going to be taking yesterday's episode on nutrition into practice this weekend. A few of you that are new members to Swolenormous X, I know you're starting the elimination. You're getting rid of a lot of junky foods. How many of you listened to yesterday's episode and are cutting out some of those foods now? How many of you are actually currently in an elimination? How many of you are currently cutting out specific foods, and what are those foods? You could drop that in the comments now, and I'll read out some of those as you drop them down. It's important to set reasonable goals. And you've heard this before. That's very common in personal training. They're called SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, or realistic, attainable. Yeah, realistic, and then time-bound. So these are that's an acronym, a common acronym to how to set proper goals. The most important thing is something attainable and realistic, because it's hard sometimes to measure some of these goals, because a lot of these things are mental shifts. And a lot of these things and these goals that are most important are aspects of taking little fucking baby steps. That whole idea of inch by inch and step by step is really powerful and really makes a massive difference. And I posted this on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter today, that too many people are shooting for the stars. Too many people are reaching for these goals that are just exponential. They're so far out there. You know, I want to be president. I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to be 220 pounds, 8% body fat. Yeah, I want to be enormous. Yeah. You have these end goals. You have this amazing, lofty, and there's nothing wrong with an aggressive goal. There's nothing wrong with a lofty goal. There's nothing wrong with reaching higher, right? Going on a higher rung. Where that becomes an issue is you're missing everything in between. That might be 10, 20, 30 years down the road. What about now? Okay, so then you start setting smaller goals. I think the issue is people don't set goals that are small enough. I think it's either a big goal or a, quote, small goal that's really a more moderate goal. And there's really no incremental, tiny, tiny, tiny goals. I think that when you're making some of these drastic changes in your life, and believe it or not, these nutrition shifts that I'm talking about, those are massive changes in your life. Those are massive. They're massive, massive, massive changes in your life. Cutting out dairy, when you've had dairy since you were 3, eating cereal. When you cut out bread, when you've been eating bread your whole fucking life, and like lunch sandwich is, that's the game, and that's been your jam for 30 years. Those are massive, massive shifts for your body and for your lifestyle. Even one of those things, it doesn't have to be, listen to this, it doesn't have to be a full-blown comprehensive elimination diet for you to make progress. You don't have to get stressed out and fucking, oh my God, how am I going to get rid of all this stuff? There's so many things to get rid of. Yeah. And you can make this elimination diet and this elimination approach as extreme or as minor as you want. And some of you, it might be better to do one thing at a time. Today, it could be, let me get rid of dairy. And you get successful with that for 3 or 4 days, and you don't have dairy for 4 days. And you're like, okay, now I'm going to start taking out bread. And then you get rid of the bread and the grains. You do it one thing at a time. It doesn't have to be cold turkey. A lot of that is challenging for people. A lot of that can be very overwhelming and can be too much. I don't think, and that's my fault if I haven't made that clear enough, but I usually reiterate that anytime I have a phone call with people that join the private community and, new members of X, because we have the Nutrition Jumpstart on the private site that walks you through this, that explains it, that shows the elimination, that, a whole video series that breaks down these different aspects of it. And it can seem very overwhelming. I get it. It's a lot of things to eliminate. Holy shit, what am I going to eat? If I'm not eating all these things, what am I going to do? It doesn't have to be all at once. It doesn't have to be everything perfect today. And the reason why is because it's not going to be perfect today. It's never going to be perfect, period. My shit's not perfect. I'm not perfect with everything. I try to be. I wouldn't even say I try to be perfect. I just try to do better. I try to do better. Just do a little bit better every day. A little bit better. And that little inch, that snail, right? The tortoise and the hare, those little tiny steps, those make a massive difference. And they add up. And too often, those goals are too high. They're not incremental enough. We set the bar high. That's a very classic training exercise, sports, right? Set the bar high and jump over it. Achieve your goals. I have a quote behind me. I forget what it says. I don't set a 7-foot tall. I don't know who said this. I forget, but it's a great quote. And I'm not even going to bother looking for it because there's so much shit on the wall. But it's like, instead of, I don't set a bar 7 foot high and try to jump over it. I set a 1 foot tall bar and I just step over it consistently. And I want you to think about that again. I'm probably butchering the quote, but the whole idea is like this. You don't set a bar, like for a high jump, right? You don't set the bar 7 feet high and then try to leap over it. I mean, how many times would you knock the bar over? All the time. And the professionals do it. What about a 1 foot tall bar that you just step over and then set another bar 1 foot higher and then you step over it, right? But you're 1 foot higher now because you stepped over that bar. It's like walking up steps. If you look at a staircase and you see, let's say it's 1,000 steps, how consistently all the way up can you scale and jump 10 steps? No, you're going to trip and fall. You're going to slip. You're eventually going to go to 8. You're going to have to stop and take a break. What about 1 step, 2 steps, and just take 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time? What makes that less valuable? It comes down to patience. People don't want to wait. They'd rather skip 4 or 5 steps all the way up. That will lead to exhaustion. That will lead to failure at some point, maybe sooner rather than later, depending on how far you're trying to skip ahead. And a lot of people are trying to skip ahead. You're trying to do too much. You're aiming too high. You have to back it off. You have to set more reasonable goals, more reasonable than you could even imagine. Really, really, really simple little tweaks, because they fucking add up. Imagine you improving one little thing a day. Imagine that. One little improvement a day. One. Just one. After 30 days, that's 30 improvements. After 60 days, that's 60 improvements. After 365 days, that's, you got it, 365 improvements. 2 years, that's 730 improvements, and so forth, right? So it adds up. It adds up. It's very powerful. And when it comes to your fitness goals, your nutrition goals, it's not going to be perfect. So first off, don't try to be perfect. Don't try to do it all in one shot. Don't try to do it in all one sweeping elimination if that's not you. You might want to start off with eliminating 2 foods. That's great. Everyone's different. But not everyone can do that in such a sweeping manner. It's very challenging. Eric on Facebook. I've seen so many people fail over and over again because of instead of learning to swim, they jump in the deep end. And there's nothing wrong with the deep end too. Sometimes you have to slap someone upside the head and let them drown a little bit, let them feel what they're going through, right? And everyone's different. That's what I've learned in my own fitness journey. That's what I've learned by doing, the podcast and having so many phone calls and getting to know so many of you personally, that everyone works differently. Some people can go in the deep end, right? Some people can jump in and just swim. Some people like that kind of overload. They like that kind of challenge. They thrive in that. And other people, not so much. So I've talked to a bunch of people that did the elimination. They just cut out everything. Wow. Boom. Nailed it. And some people I talk to on the phone, I say, you know what? Don't stress yourself about it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it won't be. It doesn't have to be perfect because it won't be perfect. It won't be. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much preparation you get, you go to the store and you buy all these certain foods, it's still not going to be perfect. It will not be perfect, and it will never be perfect. And you're going to fall off. You're going to have a mistake. You're going to fuck up. The store is going to be closed. You're not going to have a certain food. You're going to have to go buy something else, and you're going to feel guilty and blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be some kind of a struggle. And that strength of character and that strength in where you build that discipline is when shit doesn't go your way. It's not when you're successful. It's not when things are great. It's not when things are beautiful. It's not when things are going, going perfectly. It's when things are going shitty, when nothing is going your way, when you strengthen your resolve and you move forward. And that's just a classic example of self-improvement. And that's that cyclical process. That's that cyclical process of just continually trying to improve yourself and build upon what you have, build upon where you are, and just keep on getting better. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying to get better all the time. It's self-improvement. And where we get lost with a lot of the fitness and the nutrition is the fact, and in the health industry, is we tell people that are overweight, that are unhealthy, right? That arm around your shoulder that I fucking hate. That fucking arm around the shoulder, like, oh, you're okay, you're beautiful the way you are, you're perfect. No, you're not. You need a lot of work and you're unhealthy, you're killing yourself. You're a terrible example for those around you, for your friends, your family, your kids. You are sickly and you're probably going to die young and unhealthy. That's what we should be telling people. We shouldn't be promoting this kind of like embracing the fat person that you are. Why? Because being overweight is a direct correlation to having heart disease, metabolic syndrome, diabetes. Yes, we're still figuring out why some of these things are related, but yeah, it's true. There is correlation. You're going down that road. What do you want anyone to say? That you're okay, that you're beautiful on the inside? Okay, fine. You're a nice person. I have no doubt about that. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that, yeah, you're doing great. Love the person you are. No, make it better. Make it better. Why can't you make yourself better? Why does everyone have to be enough? Why does everyone have to be beautiful and perfect the way they are? Why do we have to encourage that? Why do we have to encourage being average? Why do we encourage being mediocre? Why do we encourage being complacent? Why do we encourage being in the same spot? We encourage treading water, and we sling a lot of, is that so we can sling bullshit? Is that so the entire world can sling fucking, all these like self-help books? And yeah, if we keep people in the dumps, we can sell them these things that are going to help build them up. Build these fucking people up. I'm not building someone up by breaking them down. I'm telling it like it is. Okay? If you're fat, you're fat. Okay? If you're overweight, you're overweight. That's it. Fat is fat. Skinny is skinny. Tall is tall. Short is short. Oh, but that's subjective. Okay, well, if you're 400 pounds, you're 400 pounds. If you're 100 pounds, you're 100 pounds. If you're 6'5", you're 6'5". If you're 5'2", you're 5'2". Is that better? No one's going to argue that. Okay, well, that's just a fact. Of course it's a fact. Okay? Yeah, and it's not, look, and when it comes to being beautiful at any size, we use this word, right? We use the word beautiful. We use the word you're wonderful, you're perfect. We use this to make people feel better. It's too much hand holding. It's too much arms around the shoulder. There's not enough. You're not good enough. You should be better. You need to work harder. There's no real talk. There's no real talk. Everyone wants to, and guess what? Guess what sucks about what I'm saying right now? What's great and what sucks? Actually, there's nothing sucks about it, but it doesn't sell for most things, right? You don't get a lot of friends in many cases. You don't get a lot of friends. Most people that say that don't get a lot of friends. Not a lot of people like to hear that. Not a lot of people like to hear that because they are not comfortable with addressing their own issues and their own shortcomings. You have to be. You've probably heard a lot on social media, a lot about self-awareness. I've talked about self-awareness, understanding who you are, knowing who you are. If you know who you are and you understand and you're able to self-assess, you're able to look at yourself and realize, I suck at this, I can do better. Why is that a bad thing? I suck at this, I need to do better. Okay. I'm overweight, I'm fat, I need to do better with my health. Okay. Anyone that saw that You're Fat video that I made that has millions and millions of views, most people responded to that positively, which I was shocked. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. And that gives me hope for the world, right? That gives me hope for people that are coming into this circle. That gives me hope for people making progress, because if you're accepting that, that means you understand. You're like, you know what? This guy is right. He's not being mean. He's just telling it like it is, because no one else fucking will. No one will tell you, because it'll hurt someone's feelings. They don't want to get fired. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to be on CNN like, oh man, I shouldn't say that. I apologize to my friends and family and, those whom I have hurt. I shouldn't have said that. Get the fuck out of here. Let's stop caring about other people's feelings so much. There's nothing wrong with being compassionate. There's nothing wrong with caring about other people, but you can certainly care too much. You can certainly care too much. And we're seeing a lot of that. That's where there's a lot of issues in this culture right now and what's going on in the United States, at least in the United States. I mean, I can't speak for other countries because who knows, but that's a huge problem. What's going on in this country with body image and all this total acceptance. And it's fucking ridiculous because I'm not talking about total acceptance saying, okay, you have a big nose, you should be hated on. I don't hate you if you have a big nose. I don't hate you if you have shorter legs. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're a midget, if you're tall or a little person. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you, like, it's fine. I don't hate you if you're black, if you're Asian. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're discussing here. It always becomes like some kind of like a racial thing. It's not that. It's being honest about self-improvement and self-reflection and looking at yourself and realizing that you have one chance at life and you can do better. You can do better. And realizing that you can do better. You can work harder. You can take that next step. You can improve your habits. You can do this. You can do this. You have that ability. You can raise yourself up. You can build yourself up. You can build yourself up. You can make these things better. You can have a lot of the things that you want. You can be happy with yourself and love yourself and have great people around you and have a great life. You can do this, but it has to start with you. It has to start with you. Yeah, Eric, I know. It's ridiculous. Eric Dean on Facebook. People getting offended by everything is killing comedians now. We used to be able to laugh at ourselves. Now you get sued and your career gets taken. Yeah, I mean, well, that's because a lot of people, especially these news anchors, I'm not talking about the people that have like, that say really, really stupid shit, but everyone's really super sensitive. So if you work for someone, if you work for a company, you're at risk because you work for, I don't work for anyone. I'm Papa fucking Swolio. I'm doing my own thing. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Now, I'm not going to be, I know what to say and what not to say because I'm just saying the truth as I see it. Now, there's something to be said for insulting someone and being pessimistic and being a shitty person. I'm not encouraging that for anyone. But to be honest, I'm encouraging all of you listening, watching. You got to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And this idea that there's no way that you should need to improve yourself is absolutely ludicrous bullshit because then you're going to be a fucking victim. You're going to play the fucking victim. You're going to be a victim and, oh, I don't have this or I'm overweight because I was born that way and, oh, you shouldn't be angry at me. You shouldn't hate me or I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to pay a tax on clothes because I have to wear size 92 because I'm 400 pounds. Yes, you should because that's the way it is. It's more material and it's more like, yeah, that's the way the world works. If you wear clothes that take up 4 times the amount of material, what do you mean you're going to pay less? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's supposed to be the same. How is that capitalism? How is that, what kind of leverage are you trying to accomplish? You want pity. You're playing a fucking victim. That's bullshit. That's fucked up bullshit. And that's going to kill our society. That's going to kill shit. And I'll do my part. I'll do my part to not play a role in that at all. I'm not keeping my opinions to myself. I'm also not saying anything detrimental. I think everyone can improve. I can improve. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. What does that fucking mean? What does that mean? But this idea that you can't improve yourself or that, not even that, but the idea that you should not or that you should not need to improve yourself is absolutely ludicrous garbage bullshit. And it's fucked up. That idea that you should not have to improve, that idea that you should not have to work hard, that idea that you are not required or that you should not be working on yourself to better your situation, that everyone should just accept you and be nice to you and give you extra things because you're such a victim, because, oh, you're in such a tough situation, then fucking do something about it. Then fucking do something about it. Stop bitching and complaining and do something about it. If you're not happy, fucking do something. Shut up and stop whining. You don't deserve a handout. You shouldn't get a handout, right? Remember that, like that fat tax bullshit? Well, if you're paying extra for clothes, then guess what? Lose the weight and buy better clothes. Buy thinner clothes. You're mean to me. You hate fat people. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's a turnaround. That's the victim turnaround. And if you're in that situation, I understand that it might seem overwhelming. You've made a lot of mistakes. You've done a lot of the wrong things. You didn't gain that weight overnight, and it's not going to come off overnight. And this is where this episode really is powerful, because you aim to achieve. If you are hundreds of pounds overweight, if you are 50 pounds overweight, if you're 20 pounds overweight, I understand it might seem impossible or such an insurmountable task to lose all those pounds. But that's because you're thinking about the big number. You're thinking about 200, 300, 100, 50. You're thinking about the big number, and that's not going to come off overnight. All right? That's not going to come off in one shot anyway. So what are you doing on those small little snippets? What are you doing? How are you setting the bar? Are you setting the bar low enough? Are you making it achievable enough? Are you doing it in the way that will guarantee or give you the best chance of success to keep on making those improvements? Never underestimate the power of a small improvement. Never underestimate the power of taking that little step forward, because guess what? Guess what direction it is? It's fucking forward. It's forward. It's a good thing. It's a good direction. It's a good direction. Go that way. Yes. Forward. Go up. Go. Climb the ladder. Just because you can't jump to the top in one fell swoop, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't climb every single fucking rung. And it doesn't mean that anyone should feel sorry for you for being at the bottom. You don't like being at the bottom? Then fucking climb. Then start moving. Get off your fat fucking ass and do something about it. Yeah, do something about it. If you're not happy and you don't like the situation, and that's what happens when you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you're going to get shit on by a lot of people. You're going to feel the victim, but then what's happening now is that victim angle is now taking a priority. The victimhood is now getting power, and that's extremely fucking dangerous. It's dangerous. It's very socially and politically dangerous. So, we'll fight that shit. We'll fight that shit as much as we can. Just fucking do it. I don't have any hate. And this is not hate. This is just really what's really the problem, right? What's really the problem? Is it being overweight, or is it your mindset as a result of being overweight? That entitlement to think that you have the right to pity, to being sorry. You have the technology, you have the ability to make those changes. If you're not willing to do it, then I don't give a fuck. If you're working hard and you're trying and you want assistance, absolutely. That's why thousands of people have lost hundreds of pounds. Many people in my community have lost over 100 pounds. Yeah, I help. Yeah, it works. But you have to put in the effort and do it. If you're just like looking for, an arm around the shoulder, but you're not going to fucking do anything about it and work hard and try to improve yourself, like, why am I going to waste my time? Why do you deserve sympathy? Put some boots on the ground, move forward, put the effort in. Yes, I like this talk. I did leg day today. Cool, Homero. Nice. Legs, did you squat, bro? Did you squat? Your show seriously keeps me sane. Yeah, because you leave this show and you go back out into the world, you're like, oh my God, people are fucking nuts. People are nuts. We talk about real shit here. Try to get rid of all that psychosis. Just fucking people. Yeah. People are great, but they're also fucking ludicrous. Eric, I saw a video the other day. Someone was playing the victim because she was told she couldn't ride a roller coaster because she weighed too much. It was a safety issue, but she didn't see it that way. No, they should make a ride for her. Yeah, they did make a ride for her. She was just too big to ride on it. They did the ride. Yeah, they made the ride that already exists is the ride for her. She just did not take care of herself to get on the ride safely. Yeah. They should stuff her into the ride and put everyone at risk. Get the fuck out of here. That's entitlement, right? You're going to treat your body like shit. Okay? I understand some people have issues and medical issues. Okay, well, I mean, you live the life and you live with the cards that you're dealt, but what do you want everyone else to do? Like bend over backwards and do everything your way just because you didn't take care of your fucking body? What up, big gorilla? What up, Anthony? First time listening from Toronto. Ah, welcome, Canada. I thought you were here the other day. I thought I saw your name pop up, Angie. Have you done the question thing on Instagram? I did. I'm not sure if it's still up there. I did it yesterday. I'll do it again. I'm still learning how that works. I just saw that pop up. I didn't see like any alert saying, hey, now you can ask questions. I just saw that option. So I'll start doing that. I did it the other day, but I saw someone else do it. I'm like, oh, you can do that with it. I was playing around with it, but I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Yeah. I mean, there's always so many little updates, and I do stuff on like 20 different platforms. So sometimes I don't see every little update. I gotta play around with it and figure out exactly how I want to use it. But I saw that. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I mean, we were getting questions anyway in DM form, and I've been like taking screenshots and sharing those on the Instagram story. So I've been kind of doing the question thing, but this is more like you can share that little answer and put it on different pictures and shit like that, or so I've seen. Hmm. So open up to, is this my bedroom? No, it's not my bedroom. Yeah, I sleep right under the desk. No, it's not a bedroom. I got some really nice, fugly, like old shag carpet though. No, it's not my bedroom. Can't sleep. No, there's no way. There's no way. It's hot right now. It's hot right now because I turned off the air conditioning so I don't get any background noise, which makes it extremely hot when you're in South Florida and you're in the summer. It's quite toasty in here. And I'm sitting on a big exercise ball, so like the back of my thighs and my calves are sweating. They start to slip around a little bit. So yeah, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is how I lay. This is how I lay down the podcast. I sweat. I sweat during my podcast. I was talking like last week, right, about getting a quiet fan. I have a fan here, and I'm just not spending two, three, or $400 on a Dyson fan. Fuck that shit. I'll just turn up the AC, and then right before the show, I turn it off, and I'll deal with it. No way am I paying that much for a fan. The fuck out of here. I love the names they give those fans too. It's like air distributor, air multiplier, air multiplier. You're multiplying air. Okay, bro. Nice marketing pitch. Um, oh, Ashley on Periscope. I've been asking people what's the most embarrassing thing in your bedroom. I'm not embarrassed about anything in any of my rooms, so I couldn't even answer that question. Are you asking what's my answer? Probably me. I'm weird. I don't have anything embarrassing in here. No, nothing embarrasses me. That's so subjective. I have nothing that embarrasses me. I'm very confident and very at peace with everything that I do and everything that I have. I'm not embarrassed about shit. It's only embarrassing if you care about what other people think about something. I don't give a fuck. I have nothing to be embarrassed about. And no one does. No one should be embarrassed about anything. That's a product of you giving a shit about what other people think. Oh man, I don't want to show anyone this or tell anyone because if they saw this, I'd be so embarrassed. I don't give a fuck. It's like I got a box over here. I got, a crumpled up napkin over here with some old sweet potato. I have a thing of deodorant over there on the table. Whatever. I literally can't think of anything in this area that's, embarrassing. I got some of that taro ant killer because sometimes those sweet ants come up in Florida and in the summer it's bad. So sometimes I put drops around the door or something like that. I'm not embarrassed by that either. Dale on Instagram. I want to try the lamb beef bone broth. Dude, so good. So good. So good. I usually do three packages of the grass-fed beef bones, but this time I think that I accidentally got one pack of lamb. So I did two in one. Oh, sticking to that. It was so good. That's actually one of the most popular answers themselves. Second, I'm not embarrassed about myself either. I just kind of said that out funny. Second was a stuffed animal. Why are you embarrassed about that? I don't think I have a stuffed animal in here. Well, it's not my bedroom or anything. No, no stuffed animals. And no blow up. No blow up dolls. None. 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 Just these. Bam. Just got a couple guns in here. Yeah. I don't understand that whole embarrassment thing. I guess once you have a man bun and a beard and you get trolled online, I think honestly doing like the live streaming for all these episodes has eliminated my ability or my desire or my care, like my energy to be embarrassed by anything. Does that make sense? It's just because I'm so exposed with social media in terms of how I put myself out there. I've gotten trolled so many times. I just don't give a fuck. You could say whatever you want. Nothing anyone can say can embarrass me. I'm still here. I mean, some of you, Eric, you were watching during the Periscope days, old school, and people just come in here and troll the shit out of me. Episode 798, fam. I don't give a shit. I've heard it all. I've gotten it all. Millions and millions and millions of views on my videos and tons of fucking negative comments and racist shit, and it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. I really should get a blow up doll and I should just get one and then make it look like me and put like a beard on it and just kind of put it and hang it in the corner. Like maybe, let's see, like over, like maybe like over here, or just lay it down in the corner or something like that. Do workout demos with the blow up doll. I bet that would get blocked on Facebook or anything because it's like a sexual object, you know. I have a feeling that wouldn't go well. I would get banned. All my hard work would just get wiped out, right? You know, all of a sudden I wouldn't be able to post on my page and shit. I would get flagged and someone would take offense to it. Well, I'm on Periscope now, bro. Periscope was the best because of the trolls. They would go on and on and on. Yeah, they would. Well, I'm not getting that now. Actually, a couple people are actually commenting. Ashley's on Periscope. I think Angie was on Periscope too. I saw the little logo pop up. So we're getting actually decent. Now I get the little trolls on Twitch sometimes. Sometimes I have my friends go on there and they troll me because I don't know their screen names, and all of a sudden they come up there and they make jokes. I'm like, hey, you motherfucker. And they're like, hey, I got you after the show. I'm like, damn it, that was you? Fucker. So sometimes those trolls, if you ever seen negative comments here on Twitch, sometimes it's people that I know. I just don't know. They just get a new screen name or they sign on with one of their other names, and that's what a lot of people do. They have a separate name to troll. They have a separate screen name that they use just to fucking bust people up. You know, most people that troll don't really have any hate or anger. They're bored. People are fucking bored. People are bored. So they get extra screen names. They just do that just to fuck people, just to be a problem, just to get a rise. Or bored and they just need something to do. So aiming to achieve. So today is honestly, you know, just to wrap this up and just to kind of talk more, go back to the fitness game. But my chesticles, my breasticles, my back, I'm a little bit sore. My arms are sore. But today I was going to do chest and back. I actually loaded up the leg workout. The leg workout that I shared on the Daily Swole Club on Messenger. I actually uploaded that to Swolenormous X. So what I'm going to have, those of you that are Swolenormous X members, I'm going to be putting up a lot of just individual workouts in the program vault under Swole and under Ignite as they apply. Just workouts that I do myself. And because the instructional video library is growing and growing and growing, I'm going to be adding a lot of those workouts faster because I'll have the workout and I can just link to those videos. So it doesn't have to be a fully edited video for every single workout, because once you learn the moves, you learn the moves. So I'll be uploading the worksheets and those types of things. So that's exciting. I'm going to take a different approach to that. That way I can put out some more content. And let's see, today I'm going to continue some work on the shoulder awareness program, which is fire. I've been talking about that for a while, but yeah, I went on vacation. I didn't really have the editing capacity on my laptop as I thought I did. I thought I would have. It was kind of like a little bit, you know, strenuous because I didn't have the same plugins installed. That was my bad, but it was just too much focus I needed, and I was out of my element when I was in Ohio, so it was hard to focus on that. But getting back into that now, and let's see what's new. Those of you that are not aware, I also have another podcast. So we have the Daily Swole podcast and also the Swolenormous audio experience. So if you're not following and subscribe to both of those, I really appreciate it. They're all in Spotify and iTunes and anywhere you would normally get your podcast. And that's a lot of like a daily vlog that I'm doing over there on the Swole World on the audio experience. I'm posting some coaching calls, some throwback episodes. That's kind of like just a collection of any kind of audio that I want to post. If it's like a clip from a vlog, from a thought I have at the gym, it's a lot of great stuff. So if you want some more behind the scenes and hear a lot of more about what I'm posting and what I'm editing and my mindset and what I'm doing from a business standpoint and from a production standpoint, editing standpoint, content standpoint, I give a lot of that information there on the Swolenormous audio experience. So check that out. And what's also much appreciated is those of you that are that watch or listen on iTunes. If you can, even if you like it on Google Play, I'm sure you have an Android if you're watching or listening to it there. But if you have not yet left a review on iTunes, if you have not yet left a review on iTunes, whether it's the audio experience or it's the Daily Swole, it would mean the world to me if you went over on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to call it, and left a review. I mean, honest review. If you leave a couple sentences, I really appreciate it. And that would mean the world to me, because those reviews and those positive that positive feedback helps the ranking and helps like the search function when people type in fitness and they type in health or they type in exercise or nutrition. It gives me more of a chance that this podcast will pop up and then it'll bring more people into the circle. So if you have not yet done that, left a review on Apple Podcasts, what I'm going to start doing is reading out some of those reviews and giving shout outs to people that leave reviews on Facebook, on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and everywhere. That way you get some kind of like I don't want to call it a kickback, but you get a shout out and you get some support and you get some reps from old Papa Swolio, because I do appreciate that. I appreciate your attention. But if you can go the extra mile and leave a review, it's super, super, super duper appreciated. Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it. Are you listening? You subscribed on Google Play? Are you subscribed to the Daily Swole, or is that the audio experience on Google Play? Which one are you checking out over there? Yeah, Rachel, breasticles. I'm using that for sure, dude. You're so funny. Hearing the sheep on your podcast are funny too. Those are not sheep. Those are goats. Those are goats. For those of you that aren't, that didn't know, those are goats. Might be a couple sheep in there, but those are goats. Those are goats on the podcast. Meh. Goats. Greatest of all time. The goats. Those are little goat noises. I love that. I love that little goat in between. I've been doing, the Daily Swole. Nice. I was wondering if it was posting on Google Play. I didn't know if it was submitted over there. No one's ever really told me if it was on Google Play, because the majority of all podcasts are listened by people on Apple Podcast. But I always like to have my shit everywhere so everyone has a chance, because not everyone has an iPhone. Let's see. Michelle on Facebook, I started listening to the audio experience. It's different. Love it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's such a different approach. Everyone's doing video vlogs. I want to do audio. I just love doing the audio, the thought by thought during the day. So that's the Swole World thing, the Swole World episodes that I'm doing on the audio experience. I just kind of put either individual clips throughout the day, and I put them, it's like usually covers 1 to a couple days, and it's literally just me giving little insights into what's going on in my day every day, kind of like I just call it a vlog, but it's not a video log, it's an audio log. And it's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. And I'm trying to share more and more of what I do, because I know for a lot of you, it's interesting. And I like to talk about my nutrition, talk about business, talk about my mindset, my training, my workouts. And it's a way that I can get into a lot more depth than just a video or just holding a camera all day. Because that's a little bit, anytime you hold a camera and you're really vlogging using a video, there's something just naturally not really truly authentic about it. It's because you're holding a camera, you're talking to the camera, you're editing it. With the audio, it's just literally boom thoughts. It's really on the fly. It's really raw, and it's really cool. I enjoy doing it, so I'm glad you're enjoying listening to it. Oh, thank you. I'll do that today. You're dope as fuck. You deserve that chance. Thank you, Rachel. I hope so. I just want to earn the chance. So yeah, I appreciate any reviews, any positive feedback, especially on iTunes is super mucho apreciado. Instagram, we sleeping over there, fam. We sleeping on IG. Yeah, so today is chest and back. I'm a little bit sore, but I'm going to at least go light just to get the juice flowing. Like my chest I'm still feeling it, but it's kind of like that remnant sore. A little bit, don't want to say inflamed. So today might be a more higher volume, higher repetition day. Really just pump it out. My lats, my back isn't so bad, but my triceps are fucking jacked. My triceps are jacked. And we'll talk more about triceps and their interaction with the back because, as many of you know, one of the reasons why I do all these like extreme or these interesting angles with my shoulders in more of a flex position, with my elbows more in front, is because of the long head of the triceps that crosses the shoulder joint. So when you get that aspect of the triceps, you get really sore in the armpit, you get really sore behind the arm. And the lats also cross the shoulder joint. So the long head of the triceps work when you're doing rows and pulls, and and vice versa. The lats are working when you're doing tricep extensions. So there's a little crossover there. So doing arms 2 days ago, like I'm still yikes. So I'm going to do a nice little warm up, do 10 or 15 minutes on the step mill, which I'll probably do maybe some Instagram stories. Maybe I'll go live on IG or something. We'll see how I feel. But then I'm going to do some dead hangs and really try to loosen up really good. And I'm definitely going to start with some higher reps and lower weight. I'm not going to anticipate going super, super heavy, but depending on how I feel strength-wise, then I adjust. And that's why I always encourage for all of you, be consistent with your workouts, but adjust accordingly. If today is not a heavy day, then today's not a heavy day. That's fine. I can still have a hell of a bodybuilding workout, hell of a strength, a hypertrophy workout, and do some really good volume and make it more of a higher volume, higher repetition day. So that's going to be super exciting. And then I'll probably either post that up and send that to the Daily Swole Club. I'll probably put that in Swolenormous X and just try to stay on the ball with that and keep on uploading some more instructional videos because I know you all love those, and I'm overdue to posting some more of that. So that's going to be something that's on the docket for Swolenormous X, and I'm still trying to get those, that shoulder awareness program up. I'm super excited. I talk about it so much, and it's because it's coming, and it's so good. And it's so good. I'm going to be doing so many more of these little mini programs that are going to help so many different accessory muscles and complementary muscles, so you all can really get your beefy gains on. So that's all for this Friday the 13th, Friday the Swoleteenth. It's a good day. It's not bad news. It's not bad luck. It's good luck. And it's all about what you make of it. And aiming to achieve, if you're catching this podcast coming in at the end, it's absolutely should be required for you to go back to the beginning and watch this again or listen to this again, because it is really the mental approach that you need to take with your training, with your nutrition. It's those small incremental goals that you set so you can keep on crushing those. You really need to set the bar appropriately and set it a little bit lower than you're comfortable, and crush that and just be consistent as fuck with it. So thank you, fam, for joining me for episode 798 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, and Sleevescast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps tomorrow. 700, fam. Tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow, 799. 799. The last episode of the 700s. Sunday, we got the Big Ocho. And we got to deal with that for 100 episodes. How about that? The last one tomorrow, 799 of the Daily Mother Swole. So those of you that are watching, listening, if you're interested in training programs, nutrition, the private community, instructional videos, yoga classes, all the bee's knees, go to swolenormousx.com. That's swolenormousx.com for all my private content. It is lit like a tit, and it's available to you right now. swolenormousx.com for all those details. Everyone watching, listening on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for 799. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose, a Papa Swolio. Out.